life. Guess what? Do your worst. I'm invincible. And people go, whoa, Mr. Jinx. It's been 8 days, but it doesn't matter, cause you can't understand anyway. Those were real words, I swear to you. But it's up to you to decipher. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. Ha! And just in the nick of time. Ladies and gentlemen, I already said that, but you know what? It's okay to be dressed twice if I'm going to tell you, hey, guess what? I'm happy to be here with you guys today. And I'm wearing, you know what, my boldest and most flamboyant jacket possible. I've worn it before. I got this from my brother, and I don't know where he got it from, okay? I don't know where you could buy something like this. I don't know where you could be bestowed something like this. I don't know where you could be cursed something like this. I assume they had to have gotten it from just the bottom of a cereal box or something, and they were like, well, Goodwill's not going to take it, okay? I don't know. You can't just throw it away. It's kind of the thing that you'd throw away and it would show back up on your bed. And you're like, it's never going to leave. And they thought for sure nobody would be courageous enough to wear something so colorful and outrageous, but yet I stepped in. That's right. Ain't nobody gonna break my down. Ain't nobody gonna hold me down. That's right, guys. I keep on moving. Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's comfortable per se or if it looks good. So the qualities are not there. But you know what? I'm wearing it regardless because it looks silly, and that is kind of my brand. So I feel like I'm pretty much put back together, despite what my attire would say. Just kind of trying to organize the life, get the routines, the schedules, the pieces, the parts in order. Okay, I'm trying to manage this convenience store that is Tristan Sartoris, and hopefully we can fire some employees that weren't doing so good. But you know what? We got some good guys. Okay, they got a lot of work ethic and they got a lot of ambition, and hopefully they get the job done. So I'm feeling like a lot of, you know, the routine is in order. Things are finally where they need to be. Pay no mind to the calendar that still says March. But you know what? Okay, outside of that, feeling pretty good. Especially after this last week. I mean, I was working so hard on this apartment, trying to get it into shape. I mean, it was like 60 hours or more in a 4-day span. Okay, it was like just wake up, go. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't doing much outside of that. And I would come home and then I would do the podcast or voiceover or whatever else besides change the calendar. Like I just wasn't taking care of myself or anything else but trying to get this thing in shape where it needs to be. And I can't thank my dad enough. He was there. And you know, it's not Father's Day yet, but a round of applause for all the fathers, and especially mine. I mean, he crushed it. He was in pain. He was working a full-time job and then coming back over to work and help me out. And it was a lot of work, man. It was a lot of work. And I can't believe we got it done. Okay. I can't believe it. It was amazing. And I'll get to the whole visit and how great she was. And you know, it's important, but whatever. I want to say that right now, dude, what I want to tell you is I just had one of the craziest experiences of my life. Okay. And it may sound insignificant to you or in the grand order of the world, but I will assure you it's not. Okay, so I was watching a YouTube video, right here on this screen, and I do this thing where I like to read the comments while I watch something, you know, see what the local hub is up to. What's the community saying? The newsletter, right? Put on the poster board, we gather around the bulletin, town hall, you know, all that. So I'm watching this video, and I want to look at the comments, but if I scroll down, I can't see the video, right? So I pull up my phone. I do this a lot. I dual wield, so I have dual screens, so I can scroll the comments right here. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, I get what he's saying, while also having this on my screen. Now, I came across a comment that said, ha ha ha, so funny, at like 48 minutes and 23 seconds, right? And so I'm playing the same video, right? They're both playing, and I see this comment, and I'm like, oh, what's this timestamp? I'm going to click on it, the ha ha ha, and see where it lines up. The second I click this, I'm hearing double, okay? And I had clicked it, and at the same time, miraculously, this video had just reached 48 minutes and 23 seconds at the same time that I clicked this timestamp, and they lined up perfectly. And I don't know if you guys are sharing the same enthusiasm for what just happened, but it was magical, okay? Like, what are the chances? You know how many seconds are in 48 minutes and 23 seconds? I don't know. Do the math at home, but a lot of them, okay? And for of all the seconds, for me to click it on that second, for it to line up with that second at the time that it was happening, is like one in how many seconds that is, okay? It's crazy. So look, I get it's probably not life-changing for you guys, but for me, there's something out there that I'm feeling chosen one, okay? Like, I don't know if there's a sword somewhere I'm supposed to be pulling out of the stones, huzzah! But I feel like things, talk about my life lining up, all right? This is the new management I was looking for, where things, like, that's just a sign. For what? I don't know, okay? Now, I feel like I should be dressed more for the occasion of what's really going on in my life, but I was bewildered, dude. And I wanted to share it, not only to brag, okay, but also just to document in case I ever forget how special I am in the universe. Like, people just discard things like that, Like, if you're in your life and you ever click on a YouTube video at the same time that your timestamp lines up with another YouTube video, you just write that off and you think, well, my dog's dying, so this isn't that important. No, dude, this is huge. You're writing off the signs that maybe you're meant to do something very special and practical and meaningful in the universe, but instead you're focused on the physical inconvenience that is that dog. I don't mean to shrug off dog. That's okay. This took a bit of a turn, but you know what I'm trying to say, all right? Find the silver lining. All right. I'm happy. I'm excited. I needed to get that off my chest. Oh, I don't know what it means for me, man, but I feel rejuvenated, right? I feel lit up. So anyways, yeah, the visit with Shayna was great. The apartment got done kind of-ish. I was so tired again, and I had to go pick her up at like 1 a.m., right? And it was 11:30, and I was still plugging away. I'm still working on this apartment. And this was before all that YouTube video thing happened, so I wasn't sure if I was like meant for something big yet, and at this point, I was just tired. So my dad's like, hey, you got to leave in an hour and a half, okay? It's 11:30. You got to leave. Try and get some rest. And I was like, I would, but I'm trying to get this bed frame together still, and I can't sleep until I do that. But he convinced me that I should lay down and try and rest, and I did, but I didn't sleep, and then I just journeyed off into the middle of the night, and it was like a 4-hour drive because I got to drive up to a freaking Canadian airport, and I'm not familiar with Canada or Toronto, or especially the Toronto airport. But I drive there all night, and I'm exhausted but excited. And again, if this YouTube thing would have happened earlier, like I would have been lit up for an extra week. But it hadn't, and I was tired. So I get there at like 5 a.m. or something, and this airport is massive to the point where like I'm calling her, and she's calling me. We're texting. We're like, hey, you at gate A, the gate B, and there's like different A's and B's and 1s and 2s and 2 different terminals and different airports, and you got to take a train across to get her all around. I couldn't find her, and as good as the Wi-Fi they claim at the airport should be, like trying to share the location or anything like that didn't work at all. So I was already exhausted and just scrambling around in this foreign town where they kind of spoke the language. And I'm like, hey, do you know where the gate A thing is? They're like, oh, you just go around and you can find the place A. And I go, what? Why are you saying that letter so many times? So long story short, I didn't get her. And she went back. No, I eventually found her and we drove all the way back home. It was great. I'm not going to share any more than that, not because it wasn't great, but because for privacy and just fun, it's my own special moments and memories. But yada, 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 it was fun. I will say this, dude. It's always interesting having somebody else around with your parents and your family. Like, you bring your friends around, and your family belittles you, right? They go, Tristan, you're a loser. We're going to make fun of you in front of your cohorts and your homies and whatnot. But then you bring somebody special around you, and all of a sudden they're like wingmen and they're uplifting, and you're like, what are you doing? What are these compliments? I've never heard this before. My dad was talking about my hair, and he's like, it takes a very special, cool, and excitable personality, and the chosen one to kind of pull off something so messy. And I was like, what hey, what? All right, what is going on right now? All right, I just felt like a little bit jarred, honestly, because I wasn't used to anyone saying anything nice to me. So it was pretty cool, and they were, I don't know, it was fake. I'll say that much. Okay, so as nice as it was, there was still this undertone of, what? You don't mean this. Like, they're like, yeah, no, he's great. You suck. I'm like, jeez. Okay, there we go. I was wondering what was going on. Felt like I was in the Twilight Zone for a minute. So yeah, it was a great adventure. And, man, it is cold here, and I know that's not a shock at all, but here's another thing, dude. I spent my whole life freezing here with my family, and you suffer, and you get cold, and you yearn for a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of warmth, and then you go out and you build your own place, and you control your own thermostat, and then you date a Canadian. So temperature isn't exactly what I want it to be. I'm never warm, man. I just want to be warm. I'm not asking for a lot, okay? Like a cool 95 degrees or something. No, 70? I don't. 16. I don't know. Okay, I don't even know what I want because I've never had it. But anyways, it's cold here too, and it's always cold. It's always cold. But yeah, I drove her back. It was more of the same. Very late, very tired, and I was racing again. And what sucked about being in a time crunch is, one, Border Patrol. They can take as long or as short of a time as they need, okay? And they just start asking different questions. They go, this and that, and where are you from, and how you go? And every time you try and answer, he goes, no, I was talking to her. He said, stop looking at me! Say that! Address it! So it happened multiple times where the guy kept saying, hey, I'm talking to her. And I was trying to cover up something, and I was like, he's like, where are you from? I was like, well, he's like, I'm not talking to you. I was like, all right, well, you got to look through me, say something. I don't know. So it took longer than I wanted it to, and we sat there for about an hour, okay? And then we hit a massive amount of traffic, which partly was my fault because the GPS came up with a little thing. It's like, hey, you want to take this alternate route? It'll save 9 minutes off your trip. 9 minutes, hot dog, okay? I'm a sucker for a deal. So when I choose this route, why it was supposed to be 9 minutes cheaper is because nobody wants to go this way. And I didn't know that until I went this way and found out that everybody had selected this 9-minute shortcut, and it was severe. We were supposed to get to the airport with 3.5 hours to spare. As we hit this traffic, and we are crawling through here, okay, it ticks down to 2 hours, then to 90 minutes. And with the Border Patrol, the original estimation was after 3.5 hours of a buffer, we were going to get there with 45 minutes to spare. And mind you, the same freaking airport that we don't know how to navigate, okay? So we get there, and we go through the security and think we're like, hey, we're making good time. I think we're actually figuring it out. As she goes through this, the gate number changes on her phone instantly. Boom, boom. It sends you to this gate in this whole massive airport. Somehow, miraculously, by the grace of God, we navigated and we found it. Gate number on her boarding pass changes. Boop, boop. Hey, this isn't where you're supposed to be. This is a different whole airline. And you go, wait, where am I supposed to be? So then she books it out, and I run back in, trying to help her, and we're taking trains and shuttles. Time is a ticking, dude. So we're going back and forth and trying to figure out where we're going. So we're asking people, and nobody knows this place. And you'd think if you work here, you would, but it's a city, okay? And if I asked you in your own city where every street and every pothole and every sort of freaking, what's the thing called? The fire hydrant. Let's go, dude. I kept thinking hose. But anyways, if I asked you where all that crap was, sure, you might have a good idea, but you didn't know for sure. So we're asking everybody, and they keep sending us back and forth. It was like politics, except they had different opinions on where the airport crap was located. So we're literally 12 minutes left, and we're running. Just get off the train, landed up in a different airport, hoping that the gate was supposed to be here. And we're like, wait, I think it's supposed to be that way. Then we run into this guy, and he's like, hey, what are you looking for? Wait, what are you looking for? And then I'm not going to tell you what ethnicity was because you might judge my accent, but I'm trying my best. He says, what are you looking for? And what are you looking for, man? And we're like, we're looking for gate B. And he goes, B's that way, mom. And all right. He sends us this way. We're like, but I think the sign says B's that way. And we're not sure, but you're like, well, I'm reading the sign. He goes, no, trust me, just go this way, and then you'll figure it out. You'll find it that way. I swear to you, I just came from that way. B was over there. Now, when somebody's that adamant and they say "man" after everything they say, you think, well, surely there's some authority. There's some, I believe in this. We go all that way, and there is no B, okay? This guy was completely wrong, or he duped us on purpose because he wanted, elbow room on his flight. Maybe he was going on the same flight, and he was like, yeah, no, just go that way. Go ahead, just go far as you can, mom. And I'll have all this freaking space. So we get there, turn around, 8 minutes left. zip, all dead sprint through everybody. I'm carrying luggage over people's heads. Excuse me. I'm running up and down escalators past people. I'm trudging through the crowd. I've never been so rude. Or inconsiderate, but that's what was needed. So we hop on the train, go back again, and we're about to take the wrong train, and this guy with a freaking man bun, he's like, hey, dude, are you trying to go to the Terminal 3 or the Terminal 1? I'm like, Terminal 1. He's like, all right, so actually it's that train. And the sign above it said it was this different terminal, but somehow he knew because he was some sort of sage or wise elf, and he got us to where we needed to be. We get there. She goes back to security with like 4 minutes left, and for some reason the gate wasn't open yet, and they let her pass, and she gets to the plane in time. Boom! I hate the airport, okay? And it wasn't even my flight, but, I mean, there's, like, simplify, okay? Why do they need to be two different? I don't know, okay? Whatever the infrastructure and whatever the world needs for all this is just a lot. It's a lot of hoopla, okay? So anyways, I dropped her off, and at this point it was 11 again, and I have a 4-hour drive back home. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And I pulled over a couple times, not to sleep, but you just kind of wake up a little bit. And it's always interesting when you run into like a little hoedown, like a little rinky-dinky little side quest, and you hear these people, and the things they say are so horrific that I can't even say them. All right, but you're like pumping gas, like, oh man, what the heck? Are you? How are you? Is that okay? No. Oh. And so it was jarring enough that I was like, oh, okay, I gotta get out of here, right? So I just kept driving, and I kept getting more snacks and more food because I thought, even though I'm full, this is exciting to me, okay? That if I can just keep on eating, it'll fuel me. And I don't know if that worked all that great because I did make it home. All right, so +1 for that, but then -45 because as soon as I got home, I was on my hands and knees in front of the toilet and I had to throw up violently. So you know what? Sometimes too much of a good thing is a bad thing, but you didn't need me to tell you that. But yeah, I like snacking. I don't know if you could tell that. So all in all, it was an interesting trip. It was great. I mean, not interesting. That sounds like it was bad. The travel was interesting. It was new, foreign, no pun intended. I didn't like it, but it was great having her here, and that's all. So what's going on in the news, dude? What's going on in the news? I'll tell you, nothing. All right, I've checked the news. I've looked for fun articles and things to talk about. But you know what I see every time I click on the little news tab on Twitter or Reddit or anything where I would hope to get something weird, something shocking, or like anything. Right? I should go back to those little towns and just hang out by the street lamp post or fire hydrant and see what they're saying. But I go online and I look for these things, and it's all about freaking crypto, okay? And I don't even understand it, okay? For one, so I could sit here and give you we're gonna give you the crypto news. It seems like the stocks are going up and down with a couple of, oh my gosh, it looks like the other coin is surging. It had, but looks like it came down. So anybody who had that has just lost $45. Like, it's not exciting to me. It's not interesting, but a lot of people live and die by it. But I don't understand it. I can't cover it. And I look through it and I don't see anything. So you know what? If you came here for important news, sorry. Ow! I just rolled this thing over my foot. Doesn't matter. I will say, I saw the Tom Brady roast. The Tom Brady roast. I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious. There were some things I didn't get all the way, like the Kim Kardashian being there. Like it's just like a bunch of athletes, and there's some like comedians and whatever, and they want to roast this guy and their friends, and I don't know, like they just threw in a big name because they're like, oh, wouldn't this be great if Kim Kardashian came up here to roast Tom Brady and was like, this is amazing. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand the obsession. I've never seen the Kardashians to begin with, and I don't know how this is such a big. And I don't mean to hate on it, okay? Especially, I guess, don't knock it till you try it. I've never seen it, but it makes no sense to me. And it doesn't make any sense that like the British, they're so focused on like the royal family and whatever, but we're just like, we love reality TV. This is the greatest thing ever. I just don't understand why she was there. I was like, hey, this is great. All these people I recognize and I really like. And like, why? There's no attachment. There's no attachment to Kim Kardashian. I didn't think. But anyways, that was the only really part that I was like, okay, well, script. Speaking of, not really newsworthy, but I did see. So a lot of the jokes were about Tom Brady's wife and his kids, because allegedly his wife cheated on him and then left him. And a lot of the jokes were about that. And then she came out afterwards and she said that she was very, very upset with that. She was very upset that so many jokes were made at her expense, even though they were made at Tom Brady. Which is a weird joke to make anyway, to like make fun of the guy. You'd be like, dude, you got cheated on, as if like, he didn't do anything wrong. I don't know how, it doesn't seem like such much of a burn, all right? The lady's the one who did all the problem. But yeah, so I don't know how she was super upset and be like, hey, I can't believe, if allegedly, if I cheated on this guy, I can't believe so many people are going to call me out and say all these things. It's like, well, you left the family, so I guess they can say whatever they want. But that's the point of the roast anyway, is they just unload ammo and fire. And I guess the only thing I do feel for is the kids. The kids, it's got to be weird to watch your family get dragged online by Kim Kardashian. And you're like, what is this? This is pretty weird. And I think they both said, both the parents were like, this might have been a mistake. But more power to them. Like, that's a pretty brutal thing to go through, to be roasted live for 3 hours, like from top to the bottom. Like, we're just going to completely dismantle you. And sure, it's mostly out of love, but there's a lot of personal digging here. And it was really great, but it had, props to him, because I don't know most people who would be like, yeah, I just want to be embarrassed for a little bit. It's kind of sick, all right? It's a little bit twisted to even think, bring it on. And the rebuttal, here's the thing with the comedy roast, the rebuttal is always kind of crap, Like at the end, Tom Brady, he had this whole little spiel. He gets to give this speech and kind of roast back a little bit after he just gets buried for 3 hours. He gets 5 minutes to go, I'm Tom Brady and I'm the best. And you're like, did anybody like proofread his thing? Did anybody help him do this? Because these are like professional comedians that just obliterated him. And I feel like the comedy roast, or the roastie, he should get a good 30 or something. I don't know. There's no good way to like even the fields out. But yeah, they were all pretty embarrassed for him, or the kids were embarrassed for their family. And he's like, I wouldn't do that again. But I don't know. You're in the public eye. I think everything you do is embarrassing anyway. Like, he was just drunk, whatever, after they won the Super Bowl on avocado toast or something. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But the roast was interesting. It was good. I enjoyed it quite thoroughly. I didn't understand all the guests or all the people, but you know what? It would be so fun to be a part of a roast like that. I would not want to be roasted. You know what? Yeah, I take it back. Yeah, it would not be so fun. I would like to watch a roast. Another one. I just watched one and it was okay. So I don't know what my opinion is on it. Now, dude, before I go anywhere, I have to share a story, okay? Now, this is clicking for me, okay? And I want to preface this with, I watched that YouTube video and the timestamp and the whole thing lined up, okay? Oh my gosh, I just realized that when Shayna made it to her flight on time, she probably wasn't supposed to be, but I might be the chosen one. This is a lot of like self-reflecting, where I like to look back on my life and think, when did it all start? Right here. This is where it started. So anyways, I got another chosen one story for you. I was riding. I don't want to say it because I don't want to be a motorcycle guy, but I was riding my motorcycle. And I was riding in shorts. And I wasn't even going to ride. One, because I was in shorts and it just looks a little fruity, to have like your knees out. And you're like, hey, this guy's so, are those his knees? You can't be cool with your knees out. It's just part of my opinion that if you're going to be cool, put the knees away, okay? I think the knees, as strong as they are, they just look vulnerable and disgusting and gross. And, I immediately, all your cool points get shallowed out. So if anything, guys, if you're trying to be cool, wear knee pads or something. I have no idea. But I rode in shorts regardless, okay? Knees out and all. It was just a spur of the moment thing, and I had my wallet in my pocket, okay? I'm riding, and I feel my wallet and my phone right here in my little short pockets, and they've always stayed snug in my jeans, right? And I just wasn't thinking about it. I'm riding, I'm cruising back and forth, and people often come up next to me, and they go, hey, man, that's a cool bike, or ring, that's what's you this and that, and I can't ever hear them because I got music playing on in the helmet. I go, yeah, I know, right? And I'm just riding. So I'm pulling up to this red light, And someone comes up with a van right next to me. Beep, beep, beep. And I go, yeah, I don't know what you're saying. Freaking Rocky IV soundtrack's on. Cool bike, though, huh? Didn't hear a word they said. I get down the road probably about 3 or 4 minutes, and I go, oh, and I rest my hand right here in my pocket and go, huh. That's what they were saying. Immediately, I do a U-turn, and I zip back, trying to, again, how well do you know your city, where every fire hydrant pothole is? I'm like, where was that street even at? I get back here, and I'm looking around, okay, and as much as you can while riding a motorcycle. So I pull over, I try to look around on foot, but then I get back, and this whole road, it's a stretch of about 2 miles. So I zip, zoom, nothing, zoom, nothing, zoom, and I do that for about 30, 40 minutes. And I don't want to say weeping, but emotionally crapping my pants, right? And I'm so bummed out. And there's only like $7 in my wallet, but my license and all my cards, and I have some of my keys and my freaking Social Security card. Like, I got a lot of stuff in there, okay? And it's making me realize I should probably, get some of it out. But I was bummed out. So I pull into this hospital parking lot and, maybe just to think they could help. No, it was the closest parking lot, and I was ready. I was going to call all these cards because I have to assume at this point, if I don't see it anywhere after this much time, somebody picked it up and somebody's on their way to spend money. Okay. So I'm logging on to the bank right here. I'm typing in bank, help me. And I'm about to go close this card. And immediately, bing, 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 2 Facebook messages come in. One from a guy saying, hey, I don't know if this is legit or not, but somebody just texted me that they're trying to get a hold of you on Facebook because of your wallet or something. I go, what the frick? The second message comes in. It's from this lady, and I'm not going to say her name even though she's the same, but I don't know if she wants her name out there. She says, hey, I found your wallet. I honked at you trying to tell you, but we picked it up, and I go, what the heck? And I call her immediately, and she seemed like she was a little bit scared to answer, like, well, okay, this is a bit forward. But I was like, no way. I'm doing it all caps because she doesn't understand the magnitude of what's happening by both, 1, the chance of finding it, but 2, the chosen one, okay? So I zip right around to her house. I pick up my wallet, and Lord Jesus, thank you. Things always work out for me. And it all started with this stupid little YouTube video where I realized I am destined for greatness, and if not greatness, to at least find all my belongings eventually. Okay, so I don't mean to brag entirely, but when things like this happen, you have to pay attention, and you have to tell the world, and also thank the Lord for your blessings. So I don't know what this means for me. 1, I'm so grateful, and I'm never going to ride in shorts ever again. That's what it means for me. But 2, I don't know what do you do with a power like this? Do I just try and lose things? This whole Find My iPhone stuff, do I even need it? I can just lose things and they return to me. My whole life feels like a boomerang right now, and I feel great about it. And I don't mean to test my luck, but I've been testing it for a long time now, saying, hey guys, by the way, things always work out for me. If you thought they didn't, just try me. Hey, life, guess what? Do your worst. I'm invincible. And people go, whoa, Mr. Jinx. Careful with that, okay? I wouldn't go around just testing and challenging life while wearing a Cheetos snacket, but hey, that's me, baby. And somehow, by the grace of God, sorry, didn't mean to spit or, it's a bit slobbery, okay? But you know what? It's a thanks nonetheless. Things have just seemed to, right? So I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful. It's no power to me. It's not a brag in a sense that I'm doing something so wonderful that things are working out for me. Things just work out for me. I have no say in the matter. Okay, this whole YouTube video thing, as miraculous as that was, you might be thinking about the wallet still, but this was way more beautiful and impressive to me. As cool as that was, I didn't have a hand in it. That was just stars aligning. And I don't know what I'm destined for just yet, but let me tell you, something good or scary. I don't know, but I'm going to use my powers for good, I think. I don't know if there's a way to use my powers for evil. If everything just kind of gets returned, I could try and rob a bank, but then somehow, I'd give the money back. And then eventually they'd give me a reward. Hey, cut the freaking ribbon. This guy's so good. He robbed it, but then he cares so much. I don't know, dude. Things they have a way, dude. They have a way. What I'm trying to say is pay attention in your own life for the signs that maybe you are also a chosen one. But if not, man, if you've got a dumpster wizard just kind of conjuring up trash everywhere in your life, stand clear, okay? Or call my services. 1-800-MR-CHEETO, and I will find your wallet? I don't know, guys. But you know what? Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Full Circus. I have been Tristan Sartoris, and I will be tomorrow and every time we hang out. I am going to go secretly turn the heat on because I'm still chilly. But you know what, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you. I'll see you in the next episode. We've got a lot of great things coming up, okay? I don't want to spoil them, but they're surprises. They're secrets. They're fun things looming in the balance. Again, I won't say them, not because I don't know what they are, not because I'm just putting in facade teases or anything like that, although I could be. Hey, there's an extra one coming that I definitely know what it is. But there are some things. There are some things on the horizon. Very, it's not far on the horizon, but there's definitely some hills, and you're like, is that horizon closer or further? It doesn't matter. They're coming soon, guys. It takes a month.